Hey, it's Alice from eKitHub, and I wanted to talk about editing done-for-you coloring pages, starting with, updating missing fonts. You're in good hands here because if you're a beginner, I am not a graphics editor. I just know a little bit to get around. I'm using Photoshop. But I think you'll find that if you want to use the free GIMP editor to edit PSD files, then you will find similar features. So to make it easier, and as you go along, if you do see me doing something, you're using GIMP, you could use Google to find, the solution to doing that particular task. Or one thing I've actually found really helpful is learning new software, especially popular software, is using ChatGPT, and basically they are your tutor that you can ask. So you don't have to go looking for articles and find out if they're answering the question you want. ChatGPT answers it directly for you, and as far as Photoshop goes, it seems to know quite a bit. So here we start with some of the pages in our recent inspirational coloring package. It is got so you'll want to open the PSDs because you do need to open PSD, which means there are layers. So each element here is a layer that you can delete, edit, manipulate how you want to. And if you open the PNG, you will see you don't have access to those layers. And where you can see the layers is over here. And we have some warnings here. And that means that the fonts that we see is font missing, and we need to resolve it. If it's on your computer somewhere already downloaded, you can probably find it, and then you can fix the error quickly. In this case, these fonts are not on my computer, so I'm gonna have to do that. So you have a choice, so you click it, right? And then it tells you these fonts are missing in the text layer. It tells you what it is. If you go to replace, your computer will decide for you what to put there. If you go to manage, you'll be able to find the font. And since I do not have Adventureland Demo Regular on my computer, I would use, I need to go and find it first. But let's look at what happens when you do replace. It finds a font on your computer and replaces it. If you're happy with that, you can continue on. So the next thing I did is I simply Googled the font I needed. I actually did the next font, which was the Barely Enough font, and it brings me to a website called 1001fonts.com. I actually love, there's a few font sites that I use, and the ones that I normally use, like Font Squirrel, didn't have the font I needed, so I used Google. And I think, there's a lot of font sites and a lot of them are okay. One thing I did here was also, consulted with ChatGPT to learn more about 1000fonts.com, and they told me that it's been around for many years, and it's got a lot of users and so forth, so that you can make a decision if you want to make a download from them. I feel confident in doing that, and we can see that this one is free for commercial use. And this website, if you do come across a font that you have to buy a license, they're pretty reasonable. If it's a cool font, why not? But this one we are allowed to download for commercial use. All right, and when we're done, so this is how it works. I'm on a Mac, that's how it works for me, but you'll find a similar process wherever you are. So it kind of opens everything, and you can either open the TTF or the OTF. I don't actually really know what the difference between them is because I'm a noob, I told you. So I will just put install font. And there we have it. It is ready for us to use. So in this time, now we would go back to Photoshop. And it has corrected it automatically. It was able to find it on my computer. Sometimes you have to click that manage button that I talked about. Like for example, let's go manage here. So it might, oh, here's where you can pick something on your computer, but it would have to be installed. So yeah, that Photoshop knows when you have the photo. So you would do it through all the layers, make sure you have the fonts you want. So it's a little bit of a process. And again, if you're in a hurry, you can always just have Photoshop pick one and see how you like it and run from there.